Okay, let's go. We got a show match on our hands, everybody. Best of 5 series between 30k Orc and Crowd Control. And our first map is Tomb of the Spider Queen. So these are two of the teams that have been drafted for the upcoming CCL. This match doesn't really have anything to do with this. It's just a little bit of a match where the two teams want to show off and want to see who's better. A bit of a show match going on before we are entering the real league. So it's going to be kind of fun. The game is played on North America. We have European players on both sides that are playing with a bit of a ping here, obviously. All the European players have roughly 120 to 140 ping on average playing on the North American server here just from the get-go. And these are two of the teams that are supposed to be pretty high up in the league. There's obviously a bit of power ranking going on where people are looking at like, hey, who do you think is going to make it here? And there's obviously going to be quite some differences. The one thing that I want to point out right from the get-go is that we don't actually know at this point which teams are going to play how much. So since this is not really a league where you can make a full-time living out of it, that's going to be up to the players then at the end of the day. So that will impact which team rises to the top. But again, this is just a little bit of a show match over here. We got the Gazlord banned out after the recent patch, obviously. Quite a bit of a boost to him. Also, we got Medivh banned immediately. Hazops won't be able to play him and assist the team here. And we get the Chromester also banned. Gets slapped around immediately at the beginning. I like that already, so no Chromie for them. And this should be kind of fun, because up to now, when you watch these exhibition matches, for example, one of the problems with those is simply that you just drafted players together for one match that never really played as a unit. And now that we're heading into the now that we're seeing, for example, these show matches, you have established teams at least for the next few weeks, where the players will get a bit more familiar with each other, will be also like pushed more into certain roles that they're going to play, and that is going to make the entire thing a bit more organized and just a bit more coordinated in general. So that's something to look forward to. We currently have Junkrat banned out as well, so Junkrat is already out. And we got Chromie there too, so there's a lot of poke actually when you're trying to turn in that has been eliminated now. We could still see a pick into Jojo for the flashlight, the wave clear at some point here on the tank side, so that's definitely an option. But first of all, Lauber locks in ETC, so we got a bit of beef going on over here. We got X-Ray with a night vision account. That might at some point become a little bit confusing, because a lot of the European players jumping onto the NA server picked, again, different names. I mean, that's something to definitely adjust for. As it stands though, let's see what we're going to get for the blue team over here. So our first double pick for them, and what are they starting things off with? We got BBJ as the captain in this case, and there's Johanna. I already pointed her out earlier. She's great with the flashlight, can come in, interrupt any kind of channel, has the wave clear also, especially with the level 4 cooldown reduction. And we have Sammy on Cassia coming in with a bit of stacking maybe. They got Kane, D.Va. D.Va actually also after all these patches. I mean, she's pretty much in every single game involved in some kind of fashion. Highly disruptive, really good also to just push opponents out there, dive into the backline of the team, and just try to interrupt any kind of coordinated approach to take a target down. So that's a big one. Coming into the next couple of picks here then again though, or bans. Let's see what we get on the third side. And again, this is best of 5 series. This time we're actually playing a pure best of 5, so we're not playing 5 maps as in the exhibition matches, so quick heads up here. Jaina gets banned, okay, so no lockdown from ETC. Into they got Kane Seal, and then Jaina coming through with the damage. Urel, the Space Goat, also gets eliminated. So we were talking about the bot lane. Question would of course be, are we going to get something along the lines of a Blaze, or what's going to be the side laner for 30k Orc? And the important thing to note here is also, this is of course going to be quite interesting as the meta develops, since we actually have a situation where you have European players play with North American players, and both come to the game with a bit of a different approach here and different hero pools. So we could see some fancy stuff as all of this continues. As it stands now, there's the Blaze pick. I expect enemy actually get Brightwing. Yeah, BBJ, a bit of a Brightwing fan here. So we get the Fruit Fly in the game. Voluntarily, by the way. I don't think that he actually misclicked this one. So we'll see if that's going to be enough for the game. To be fair, had some good moves there. Still a smaller map, and doesn't really have any kind of potential lockdown. But with the polymorph, if you, for example, go into a mosh pit play on Lauber's side with ETC, Brightwing can shut that down too. And here comes Greymane for Dino, and Rutzo with Sylvanas. Good damage from them. And of course, we are slowly finishing the draft here with Hazops taking his pick. Let's see if it's going to be hammer time or something. I definitely need a bit more damage from him. Unless, of course, they're switching picks around a little bit. And, well, off you go. Hazops as the last one. And could be a mage, of course, as well. But against this lineup... Hanzo! Okay, so we got Hanzo in. Yeah, and this, ladies and gentlemen, finishes draft number 1. Tomb of the Spider Queen coming up now. Let's jump straight into it. Off we go! Game number 1. BBJ, ladies and gentlemen, for the blue team on Brightwing. We got Sammy on Cassia, Hazops on Hanzo. And we're currently looking at Masquerade on Johanna. And we have Vespertine on Blaze. Over to the right side, on the other hand, we're currently looking at Crowd Control with Rutzo and Sylvanas, Night Vision on Deckard Kane, Dino on Greymane, Dequaza on Diva, and Lauba on ETC. So I gotta immediately let you guys know something. This is playing out on the NA server, so I'm actually observing live on NA, and that has a couple of things that I have to take care of. First of all, as it turns out, some of my control hotkeys are not quite working the way that they should, and I also selected one of the experimental UIs. You can see, at least for some of those heroes, the Gladiator's Medallion, the cooldown. I'm sorry that this is not the final version, so I have actually not used this before. As far as I know, Ali is working on it, so we should soon get a version that works. For the time being, I apologize that the score overlay is actually overshadowing some of them, so that wasn't quite intentionally. I'm going to change it for the second round so that you don't see it at all, but at least I can see it right now and can let you know if there is any kind of big plays around the medallions. But either way, now as all of this is happening, we currently have our bit of a brawl here in the middle. We got ETC with the block party as the first setup, and we have also Cassia coming in with the stacks on her level 1, trying to set this up here. And it's going to be a fun one. Again, this is a best of 5, and it should actually be a pretty cool setup. We have Blaze for the wave clear at the bottom of the map. Of course, Jojo can start to move also to the top. She really has to. Greymane is already circling around at the bottom of the map, looking for the Siege Giants. But with Sammy checking this out, they are fully aware that both teams are now trying to contest this one. So we're going to see the red team committing 4 heroes to the camp. I mean, the blue team is starting to move in for it as well, but they might be a bit too late to the party here. Here comes already Jojo onto the point on the other hand, and they might steal it away after all. The kill against Greymane sets it up nicely. The camp stolen away, and that was pretty awesome. So, nicely done. Well played here. And let's see what else they can actually do with this particular setup. So, yeah, so far, so good. And, well, in the meantime, the bot lane gets actually pressured even more. Yeah, they're trying to make the play for ETC here as he immediately eats the polymorph. So that already happened. But also, 11 stacks by now for Cassia. So, there we go. We got already our level 4 talents in for the blue team. 30k Orc is currently doing fairly well here. Greymane has rotated topside, by the way, so he's currently pushing the lane out. Could even turn a few of the gems in if Blaze lets him. Blaze is currently sitting at the top and pretty much handling the action there. In the middle of the map, we get another push as the bot lane has already been attacked quite heavily. Masquerade now playing at the front line with Jojo for the wave clear. Gems, nobody has really turned in. Everybody is watching the minions on lane still, making sure that they're not losing out on any experience here. And by now, camps are, of course, also starting to get a little bit more focused on. In terms of the talents, we got Ruby as the level 4 talent choice, so no shielding potion in this game. At the same time, when you're looking over to ETC, the loudspeakers, as so often, we got the rushdown. And for Brightwing, the build for BBJ with the unstable anomaly on level 4. Hyper shift also in. Lauba, careful here as he slides out, always keeping the cooldown up. Diva disrupting at the bottom of the map, the plays, and so far, nobody turned in. So we're gonna see how quickly they're able to get the first web weavers into the game. Now that we got the first kill initially against Greymane at the bottom of the map, party continues. Quasar is moving out. Vespertine is still holding on to that particular turning point, but the blue team is now trying to finally deliver a few of the gems. And Blaze actually turns in. That's 40 gems by now in their hands. Or turned in, so that's actually pretty sweet. Especially since their offlaner turned in. That's one of the things you normally try to accomplish since they have a lot of gems. And it's usually shut down very heavily since you find 1 versus 1. 2 of the medallions have already been used on the blue team side. Both of the frontliners have no cooldown anymore, so it's going to be quite some time until they have access to the unstoppable frames again. Cassia all the way up at the top. BBJ might also be in trouble. Brightwing moving out. And Sylvanas wants to kill. 7 hit points and Rutsu dies. BBJ survives, Rutsu dies, and the gems are mostly recovered. But that one still hurt. Oh my god. The craziest thing was that in this entire time, BBJ didn't even use the Gladiator's Medallion. Even when there was a threat of him maybe being locked down, he just held it. And then later on he was like, well, no matter what happens here, I'm not going to need that right now. There's nobody that is actually in range and could stun me out, so don't have to go for it. At this point, Vespertine is pushing the bot lane out, and they're looking good at this point. 3 kills against 0, of course, the first Web Weaver wave now as well, so they can really start to do some work here, and they're already trying, as you can see. Bot lane is our 1 versus 1 lineup with D.Va against Blaze, but here in the middle, this is where the blue team is focusing most of their aggression. The wall falls within seconds, there's just no way of holding that. That fountain is also destroyed. We have still top side, Hanzo doing his thing. But down here, do we maybe even see a kill? It's 44 gems on Lauber. You don't want to lose him. He was the one that recovered most of the gems that Sylvanas lost, so you really want to make sure that he turns in soon. Dainu has prevented the worst from happening up at the top, but still, we lost a lot here, as you can see. So it's a level lead, and the problem is really level 10. Once that 30k org is just a little bit deeper on this, that's going to be the biggest issue. They're trying to make the play for Vespertine. Does not have the Gladiator's Medallion. It's still on a 40-second cooldown. So if he gets locked down, he can't do anything about it. Jojo is moving in as well. Red team has all the medallion stacks still up. Pretty important for them. Masquerade, they go for him and they take him down. Masquerade eliminated. He's dead already. And that's, of course, the first kill in this game for Crowd Control. And that could actually be just the one thing that allows them to get access to the turn-in point. But the blue team pays attention. They have the level 10. Now, obviously, because Johanna got killed, they won't be able to do a whole lot with it. The gap is small, and thanks to the kill against Jojo, Crowd Control closed the gap quite significantly. And as you can see, without 5-man in the mix, they are not going to go for any aggression. Crowd Control now has their own level 10 abilities, and that's all that they really needed here. Now we got Vespertine sitting up at the top right now, down to the bottom of the map. Oh, that's a good one. And ETC is in trouble. Used the medallion already. Tries for the Mosh, and they lock down not only Hanzo, they go for Sammy. ETC is dead. The bunker is up. The gems are recovered. They're trying to make the plays here, looking for the kill against Cassia, and they can't quite get it. Good reaction from Lauber, though. That was the best that he could get out of this situation. They're trying to go for the kill against Blaze, but it just doesn't happen. 99 gems in their hands. Sammy looking for the interrupt here as he comes in again with Cassia, but Rutsu is able to deliver the gems. They're looking at 30 that have finally been turned in. Masquerade with a shield glare here gets locked down for just a moment. Might have, yeah, has to move out. And we'll see. Generally speaking, we actually have a lot more medallion use on the side of 30k org than we do from Crowd Control. And again, this is still a bit of an alpha version of that UI, so we're not going to have this particular one in the next game. But as it stands right now, there's some action at the bottom of the map where the red team is looking for another kill. Vespertine with the 24 gems that he holds gets out. BBJ able to blink, heal away as the Web Weavers are touching ground. And we're seeing some middle aggression coming from the blue team as they're trying to take them down quickly. Hazops is sitting up at the top doing the same thing here. He has already 19,000 damage for the team. 23,000 for Sylvanas on the other hand. And she's, of course, incredibly valuable right now. You can really come in and push this through even further. They're trying to make the play here for the fort, and they might just get it. I mean, Sylvanas is here and could help them out with this, but the defense is now coming in strong with 3 of the players already dealing with it. The Valkyrie is missing. ETC with the slide against Jojo. There's the explosion, zoning them out. And, oh, X-Ray with a bit of an uncharacteristic faux pas here, trying to lock them into the explosion, and that didn't work out at all. That backfired hard. I mean, the idea was there, but I don't know if it was the delay or what the reason was. That came just way too late, and that didn't hit anybody. So that was pretty rough. That honestly looked like a bit of a ping issue because that came so late, and that's not something that usually happens to him. But either way, the plan didn't quite work. They still did a lot of damage at the bot lane. Now we're looking at 4 kills to 2 in favor of the blue team, and they look for another webby wave. And of course the Siege Giants. I mean, that's just the cherry on top of it. Jojo is up at the top. That could be a problem because Quasar's already down here. And here comes the rest of it. They're stealing this away. Yeah, easy peasy. That's an easy steal without Jojo even being close. Greyman has now taken the camp in the middle, which means bot lane and mid lane will both be defended by mercenary camps, and of course the remaining heroes that are immediately making their moves here. Middle of the map, Jojo's already getting attacked here. Masquerade is moving out. Arrow at the bottom. Valkyrie, they go for ETC. Lauber is trying to get away. Oh, the mosh pit again. He comes in with a mosh pit once more. BBJ is alive. There's the sleep finally. They can get 1 kill. Can he get more? Brightwing gets out again. Blessed Shield. The kill against the old man. Brightwing is dead, and what a fight here again. Holy hell. They come in swinging from all sides. Greymane stuck at the top lane, couldn't do anything here. And we're going to take another look at this. All starting off with really that bunker going in deep. The Blessed Shield coming in as we had Johanna coming from the top. And that was pretty fantastic. Nicely done. Good kills for 30k Orc. Well done here. And of course, crowd control is trying their best. They're still holding experience, but they're getting a bit punished here. Now, the important thing is that they still hold on to their gems. Dino in particular, he has 44 at this point. And that is an easy turn-in if they are able to turn in with D.Va and Greymane. But Hazu knows this too. There's a lot of interrupts here. I talked about this a bit before. You have Jojo for the interrupts, you have Cassia, and you have Hanzo. That's a lot of heroes that can really make your life super annoying as you're attempting to get the objective. Dino also has to get out of here. I mean, again, the problem is if you hold this many gems, you are prime target for your opponent's team. So now that this is all starting up, we still have Hanzo with the top damage. Sylvanas is sitting at 27,000. That's doing pretty decent here. And here we go again. They're starting to come in with Masquerade now for the next interrupt. Dino is able... Oh, gets interrupted by Vespertine. Nice. Valkyrie again. And the Polymorph as a follow-up. Didn't have the Mosh Pit cooldown either way. And here we go. Gladiator's Medallion up for all the players at this point again, by the way. Here comes the arrow, the jump, they're going for Hazu, and he jumps out. Red Web Weavers have been called down though. 53 stacks by now for Cassia. Now we're getting there. This is quite the game. This is a great opening for our best of 5 here. I love this. This is fantastic. Now Dino is still sitting tight on the 42. He needs to be a bit cautious. It's pretty low, and Deckard Cain is trying to change this and remedy the fact. But here comes the push, and honestly, now they need to do some structural damage. Bot lane 4 is of course going to fall. Both teams are knocking to level 16. So that's soon going to happen here. And Dino's coming in, interrupting at the front, the towers. 16 talents are ready for both of the teams, which now gives us also the Will of the Forsaken. And off we go. That's going to be the end of the fort in the middle as well. Blaze is dealing with the bot lane as best as he can. Jojo has taken to the top. That's the second fort falling. And we might actually see crowd control starting to take over a bit here. Yeah, they're starting to chase Masquerade. Careful, Jojo might be in trouble. These Valkyries on the other hand, holy hell. They nearly killed Deckard Cain. He barely makes it out, but he escapes. And now that D.Va is in action, we have a 5 versus 4. And I don't think that the blue team is going to be willing to fight this one. But that was still solid. That was a great combo. Night Vision, X-Ray, again, he tried. Oh, the arrow! Oh my god! They are getting murdered! What the fuck? That turned back so quickly. The engage with the Mosh on ETC, and then they lose 4 heroes. What a turnaround. What an absolute turnaround here. Let's take another look at this. There's the fail first and all, then here comes the Mosh Pit. Look at that arrow and how they get crushed right after that. Chase down to what a setup. Yeah, that was pretty ruthless. That was incredible. Nicely done. Dino takes the camp at the bottom. Obviously, this boss up here at the top is going to be taken. They got the gems for the web weavers too if they want them. Mid-fort has already taken some damage too, and they're even waiting with all of these turn-ins and the capture for another camp to be attacked there too. That was brilliant. What a fight. Just as it looked as if crowd control might be coming back into it. It just looked like they might just be able to make some plays here, and then this happens, and they get shut down. That was rough. That was really rough to watch. So, well, off we go. We got Masquerade and his boys sitting up at the top, trying to push with the boss. Web Weavers are coming in. This is a death push, guys. This is going to do so much work. The only chance they have to get somewhat unscathed out of it is if they get kills now. And yeah, they can't lose Sylvanas. That's gonna hurt too much. Greyman is doing his thing. Arrow, Valkyrie. They're trying everything here. And that's the end of ETC. ETC. And over to the right side. The keep is now under attack too. Let's not forget that the bot lane and the mid lane are also pushing. So that's also happening here. And it is starting to look very, very dire for crowd control in game number 1. That last fight, honestly, that was just a bit too much. That just broke them. They're losing the fort in the middle. They can't defend it. It's gone within seconds. The web weavers are arriving at the keep at the bottom of the map now too. And the push is just crushing them. It's way too much pressure. And look at the experience league. We're looking at 19.5 in favor of the blue team as all of this happens. Down to the bottom of the map. Yeah, half the wall is already gone too. They ignore the boss on the core. They know that the shield is going to be scratched, but there's not really too much to be done about that. And in the meantime, the attack just continues over here. But yeah, that last fight was rough. Honestly, 30k Orc got so much out of it. It's not only the kills and the lead and experience that they got as a result. It was also that they got access to boss, to turn into the camps. It was just too much. And now that 20 is on the board for the blue team, what is the red team going to do? What is crowd control going to do here? There's not really a whole lot that they can do. It's going to be quite tricky. They don't want to fight against a level 20 talent. It's an entire level on the other hand, so do you really have the time to play around it? Maybe, if they just play patient here, but you can already tell the trap on the left side as they're looking for a kill against Sylvanas. I mean, Rutzo is playing this super safe right now, but the idea of the blue team is to go for an additional keep, and who's gonna stop them? They have level 20 talents, the entire level ahead, can push this in easy peasy. That's what they're looking for. Whoa, Sylvanas. Gotta be careful there too. If that stun hits, then she is in trouble. Now granted, she still has the medallion cooldown up, so could play around it, but that is still playing a very dangerous game here. On the other hand, gotta take some risks if you want to come back into this one. You won't be able to make a comeback if you're playing it too safe. Still need to play it safe enough so they get level 20. I love these combo attempts, by the way. It's just so nice that these stuns with the Valkyrie coming through from Cassia, and they've worked so often for them already. So this is actually pretty sweet. Now, this keep is gonna fall. They won't be able to save that. It's just not happening. Are they? Are you serious? What? Nobody pokes that thing down? Hello, team? That's like one ability you need there. They're going for the fight. 20 or no 20. Crowd control says fuck it and moves in. Let's try and win this. It's the last fight anyway. There's the mosh pit, baby. Gets interrupted, but they're still looking for the battle. And 20 is going to be ready. It is ready. They're quick picking it with the hotkeys. X-Ray missing another ult on Deckard Cain. Really having some trouble in this game here. In this first map of the best of 5. As they are now pushing in with the Web Weavers. Web Weavers are going to save the top, and I can still not believe that this thing has not been killed. 600 hit points, that's fucking nothing. That's absolutely nothing. So they're coming through the middle now, and has the blue team overplayed their hand a little bit? Did they play this too passive? We're going to find out, because here comes the push from crowd control. And they're, of course, hoping to at least... I mean, they need to get the top 4. Bot lane gets defended by Blaze, so that puts them into a 5 versus 4 top side. And with the Web Weavers, they should be able to get this one. But here we go. They're pushing in. Sylvanas is ready immediately. And yeah, that fort is toast. Can they get a kill? That's the question. If they get one, it would be great for them. Maybe they can snowball it a little bit. But at least they open the game up a bit more. 98, 89 stacks for Cassia. Let's double check where Cassia's damage is actually sitting at. Cassia's currently sitting at 55,000. Still couple of thousand points behind Hanzo, but not doing too bad either. More than Sylvanas, who now rotates to the Siege Giant camp at the bottom of the map in an attempt to take this one. Alright, so far so good for them. Greymane also in another camp. I mean, they need to control bot lane in particular. They need to keep this away from the keep. If the keep falls, then you have 2 lanes pushing against you. And this would also be the lane that is the farthest away from the boss. So once that it spawns, all that the blue team would have to do is just sit at the top lane and threaten a boss pick. And the bot keep would, that would be a problem. Here comes the arrow again. There's the setup. ETC moves out, uses the medallion, and gets away. Bomb to zone them out. D.Va, they're trying to go for Vespertine. There's the slow. Can they get him? Doesn't look like it. But at least that's most of the combo of the blue team already eliminated. And Sammy could be in trouble here on Cassia. They're starting to chase him. Sylvanas jumps in. Tries to get some additional damage on the Blaze, but it does not quite work out. Now, both teams had the exact same amount of turn-ins so far. We have 31 gems already delivered by the blue team. But for the red team, it's honestly more so about boss than anything else, I would assume, at this point. We might see a bit of a Hail Mary move at some point by one of the teams here. But, well, let's see. Right now, 11 kills, 2-3, which in and of itself is already showcasing how successful these picks were for 30k Orc. So, bottom of the map still has to be dealt with. Well, Siege Giants fall to the camp, sorry, to the minion wave, so that's good. The rest of the team is still sitting up at the top. I mean, honestly, this went from a game that was pretty much, I don't want to say won, but at least very heavily tilted towards the blue team, to a game that could end with one good team fight by crowd control. Crowd control can win this. They were on the ropes for a long time. They were in their corner getting just beaten to a pulp, but they stood there, they endured, and now they have a chance with a good team fight to turn it. Then again, to be fair, they lost most of the big team fights in this game. But they have the tools at their disposal. A nice sniper kill from Greymane coming in together with Sylvanas might just do the trick. Maybe shutting down the bunker with a good wailing arrow, that could help too. Valkyrie already missed, that was important. And again, oh, so much for that. Alright, goodbye baby. That was an easy double kill, and that might just be the end of it. Lauber with a mosh pit, irgendwo nirgendwo, and now we're going for the rest of the kills. ETC is dead, and they are chasing the pilot. Goodbye, Quasar. And that's that. He's dead too, and Greymane is, of course, also on the run. Well, as he dies, and they're going for core, let's take a quick look at how this entire fight actually just started up. So yeah, they got the beautiful combo there set up, and that was just an insta double kill against Sylvanas and Deckard Cain. No chance for them, and that will lead to the advantage in this best of 5 series for the blue team. Solid game by them. 16 kills to 3. Very impressive here. Very good coordination. I love the stun combos. I love the way that they're playing with the Valkyrie. That was a fantastic game by them. And that's the lead. That's the lead in the best of 5. 30k Orc, they take map number 1 to the Spider Queen. As we, of course, heading into game number 2 now. Okay, let's go. Game number 2. Yeah, blue team looking good here. The 1-0 lead for them. They shut crowd control down pretty hard. I gotta say, I was a bit impressed, and I was also a little bit worried. I was very surprised to actually see that X-Ray had massive, massive troubles here. And that was something that I don't quite know if we can completely chalk that up to ping problems, but it was definitely uncharacteristic for him as a player, because usually when we're talking about these Deckard Cain ults, they're a little bit more on point, and I don't think that he actually landed a single one of those. But then again, to be fair, when you look at 30k Orc, they did a fantastic job just locking down those ults and skills the entire time. I mean, we had so many stun combos where you had a Blessed Shield followed up by a Hanzo arrow, by a Blaze stun. We saw the Valkyrie several times after a stun setup, and it was pretty impressive the way that they dealt with this. So big shout out there to the blue team. They did a great job here. And we're gonna find out if they can I mean, perform at the same level here on map number 2. Obviously, this is still everybody trying to assessing a little bit the power level of the other teams. It's a show match, but it's also one that takes place even before the CCL, the league starts. And once the teams scrim more, we will definitely see some changes here. But I love the synergy that we have from the blue team already, so that's definitely a pretty good start into all of this. Khaldor gets banned again, so does Medivh, and in this case, actually Johanna. So Jojo not going to be played again by Masquerade. They banned that out immediately. And yeah, what else are we going to get rid of here? This could now be a fun one. It's kind of interesting to me that Khaldor gets banned. It's just so weird. I mean, it makes sense, don't get me wrong. We had first the rework, and then Blizzard looked at it and was just like, well, we reworked the hero, but nobody is picking that sucker. And then they just like buffed the shit out of him, so now all of a sudden you have, yeah, Khaldor running around everywhere. Dino is on the other side too. He knows how to play the hero as well, so kind of want to ban that out there. Now, we're heading into our first pick, and it's actually kind of interesting to see. We have first pick for crowd control, so map choice was definitely done by the blue team. And ETC picked again. Lauber said, like, well, didn't really work out so much in game number 1. Then again, can always argue it wasn't necessarily his fault over here. He had a couple of decent moshs. I actually felt that he traded really well. When there were situations where he got caught by the Valkyrie, he still had a lot of moments where with the mosh he was able to trade. He still died, but he was able to not only get a counter kill, but also set the team up for kill number 2, for example. And that's something that you can't always take for granted there, so that was not too bad. Get Junkrat in, and Cassia again. So already a couple of similarities in the priorities that we're seeing in heroes compared to game number 1, as we're now heading into our second pick phase. And ETC is obviously always a fantastic tank if you have a good play on him. I mean, I still remember back in the days when you had, you know, HGC up and Breeze was playing ETC all the time. And when you saw the guy play ETC in any kind of Storm League game, he didn't stream a lot, but when he did and you saw him play ETC, it was insane what that kid was able to pull off. And Lauber, of course, he came up as an ETC one-trick more or less. Maybe not quite a one-trick, but it was definitely his favorite hero. So Quasar with Urel, and we got X-Ray this time on Ana. Okay, so what do we get on the bans on the other side now? What are they going to try and get rid of here first? And we got the ban against Liming, so no resets. It's obviously about the Ana combo at this point. You definitely are looking at a situation where it's all about, okay, who gets the Ana boost? And one of the primary targets is always, I mean, obviously it's always the mage, but like go, or most of the time. But it goes straight in, and you see that Liming is saying like, yeah, don't really want to deal with that. But let's see what else they're going to get. There's actually a couple of interesting scenarios where it doesn't have to be a mage. I mean, we've seen nano boosts on a lot of frontliners too, depending on which hero gets played. Medivh has received it as well. You have, of course, the combo with the Malthael that gets nano boosted by Ana too. If there is no stun on the other side and you're playing Infernal Shrines, for example, that Malthael can completely rip the opponent apart. But generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, if you're picking an Ana, you're mostly looking towards boosting a mage. And, of course, that's where Liming fits just perfectly. That's why she gets banned here. We got the Brightwing ban. I mean, honestly, at this point, I want to say this is not even a respect ban. This is just a bit of a pity ban because they are saying, like, BBJ, seriously, you still think that hero is good? Come on, bro. We're going to ban it out, so you have to actually pick a proper healer, and then you guys might have a... No, I'm just kidding. he played a really good Brightwing on the last map. So Brightwing gets banned, so did Jojo. So there we go. I got a reputation to uphold here. I don't know what to tell you. Stukov gets picked instead. So the big man with a big shove. We got Vespertine on Diva. Dino with Vala. Ooh. Vala Falstad. Okay. Both of them as a tandem. Didn't expect that. But I kind of like it. So that could be interesting here. Yeah, Vala without any kind of like second sustain, any kind of Medivh setup. She has been falling off the meta buzz a little bit. Not really all that much on the meta train anymore, but Dino, of course, could definitely pull that off. Masquerade with Dibbles as the last pick, and well, that sets us up. Game number 2. Can the blue team get the 2-0 lead, or is crowd control coming back into this? We'll find out. The best of 5 is underway, and so far we had a pretty fun game, so let's jump straight into map number 2. Game number 2, BBJ on Stukov. On Towers of Doom, we got Masquerade on Diablo, Vespertine on Diva, Hazops on Junkrat, and Sammy on Cassia, looking for the Lightning Fury stacks once again. Over on the right side, we got Lauba on ETC. Night Vision aka X-Ray is playing Ana. Rutzo, look at that! Seasoned Marksman on level 1. We're going to see an auto attack build from Falstad. We have Dequaza on Urel and Dainu. So that's the one that we have to watch out for, because I'm still interested to see if he's going to go for an arrow build and tries to control the camps a little bit with the team, or if they just go standard and have him wave clear with a normal multi-shot build and then spec into auto attacks later on. But yeah, waiting this out for a little bit longer. Also, change for ETC, not going into block this time, but instead we have him with a proc rock. We got the Hot Pursuit here, so very likely it's going to be a multi-shot build. There is, of course, the Hot Pursuit arrow hybrid, but on this map, I don't really think we're going to see that, simply because if you're already going for an arrow build, it's kind of likely that you're going to try and make the plays with you just simply locking down the mercenary camps as well. But again, time will tell, so we're gonna see. At this point, we have top side, Urel just doing her thing, Quasar sitting here, everybody is still rotating for the red team as they're moving between the middle and the bottom here. And let's see if Diablo can lock those kills down. Masquerade can be pretty brutal on Diablo. And I want to see how BBJ follows up on any kind of stunts that we're seeing here right now. This time we don't have Hanzo in play, so there's not going to be any big arrows coming in. But with a good ETC engage, or maybe even a Junkrat lockdown, BBJ could really ruin any kind of coordination on crowd control side and get the lurking arm through here. So time will tell. But with Falstad also going into a Seasoned Marksman build, that means that they're gonna have quite a bit of auto-attack damage against Diablo later on in the game. And Rutsu could definitely do a whole lot here. Giant Killer later on in the game would be nice. He just needs to make sure that he gets all of this stacked. Is of course the only global also in this game right now, which means that they can try and control the map at the top a little bit better as we're heading into the late game. And on a map like Towers of Doom, that can be a pretty big one. So, yep, we'll see. But, I mean, at this point, let's have a bit of a look here. There's the multi-shot build, exactly the way that we need it. We got the hammer gains in, too, and it's party time. Yeah, right now, we already got the chattering teeth over here, the light again. This talent is so fucking dumb. I love it. This is probably my favorite talent on Junkrat. I mean, honestly, I don't even play the hero a lot or anything, but every single time I see a Junkrat player and have those chattering teeth, I'm just laughing my ass off. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I see that thing and for some reason it just makes me happy and puts that smile on my face. The bird over here goes nearly down as Rutsu gets locked down hard. And that's exactly what I talked about. This is actually a pretty good showcase for what I was mentioning earlier. If you come through with a good combo on the blue team side, you can definitely make those plays. Talk about making plays, look at that. Night Vision, X-Ray, he comes in with a good sleep dart against Cassia. Now they don't get the kill, but they are definitely showing them that the blue team is not the only one who can try and set up some kills here. And Dino is already dealing with Hazops at the bottom of the map. So far so good here. I like it. Yeah, then again, oh no! And he gets away. The bird is flying into the exchange in bell tower shots, 4 on each side. And now at the bottom of the map, thanks to the global, they have a bit of an upper hand. So the red team takes the lead here. Ooh, ETC jumping out. But they were taking 2 out of the 3 altars in the first rotation on the objective. And that's pretty much all that they can really hope for here. So yeah, that's kind of neat. But let's go. I mean, again, the bird with the auto attack build here. So first of all, he has the lane sustain at the top, or wherever he decides to go to. And then second of all, we're also going to see him with a lot of damage against Diablo in particular, so that could be pretty sweet for them. There's the boomerang, of course, as usual, so with that he has the wave clear whenever he starts to go onto the side lanes later on and tries to get some additional global value. Divine Steed is in, multi-shot build continues too. And yep, we got the camps up again. So far it's only Junkrat that actually deals with it. But here comes the bird. This is already looking at. Needs to be careful, cautious, yes. They're starting to go for Lauba. Is he gonna get the slide through? They're trying to go for Cassia. That's a kill. That's a kill. Cassia is down. And the question is only, can they get the second one? BBJ is sitting tight. Hazorps is, of course, a threat. They need to be careful that they are not going in too deep, or Junkrat might actually just catapult someone over with a good mine placement. But thanks to the kill, we now have 12 stacks for Falstad. So he's looking at a pretty decent amount of stacks early on in the game that he can use to put more pressure onto Diablo, especially after his level 13 talent comes in. And now with the double altar appearing on the map, it's time to shine. Let's see what they can get here. So, right now, Loba is already sitting at the... We'll probably take the bush here, or at least he should. I mean, they're not double-checking this at all. Sees what's coming. Falstad is here. Barrels over. They try to go for Masquerade. Nice move by BBJ. Zoning them out here with his lurking arm. But the camp has still been taken. So crowd control has pumpkins moving through the map. And they can now play around the altars. And this one is more or less going to be a freebie. I mean, that's an easy one. Power slide over here. Oh, the grenade! Nice! The grenade actually hits him, but yeah, Roots is getting the channel here. The Quasar is sitting in the middle. 4 shots are fired. They're looking for a little bit more, and the second salvo also comes in, hits the core, and drops it pretty low. The thing is, you can really tell that 30k Org is just looking at this and say, well, we're gonna wait this out a bit more. So they're not too eager to fight. They felt they were in a bad position. They're waiting for later on in the game. They feel they're scaling better here, which could definitely be true. So they are willing to give this up early on. And of course, the big thing about Towers of Doom is that this is a fantastic map for comebacks. And if you control the later stages of the game, if you get good access to bell towers, for example, and you convert them over, you can easily bridge a gap like this. So now that we have level 10 in play, this is going to be a completely different ball game here. We already have the Ardent Defender in. There's no big surprises at this point that we're seeing in terms of talents. We have Vala also with Strafe, so going for the maximum damage. Yeah, Ana. Okay, gets the Sleep Dart through. Still, they're trying to put some pressure on the Dibbles. Didn't quite work out. Semi comes in and threatens ETC a bit, but it's not going to force anything yet. Again, it's a much more cautious game than what we've seen in the first map. So far, we only have a single kill. We're 6.5 minutes in, so both of the teams are still looking for opportunities here. Top side is where Urel is now moving around on a bit of a rat over here. And the fight at the bottom of the map is starting to break out over the camp, as it seems. Yeah, Falstad with the gust. Wants the camp, but he doesn't get it. Here's already Diablo coming in. They go for the kill. Vala, low. Urel. And in come the heals as Vala is alive. But for how much longer? That's the end. Vala is down. The fight over here continues. The bird flying out, saving himself. No KFC bucket for Falstad at this point. But that was a solid show here by, well, actually by both teams. I mean, you can always argue that that grab at the camp was kind of worth it. I mean, Vala died, but outside of that, they at least took the camp away. It's still 11 versus 11. There's a nice stun into the wall, though, from Masquerade. D.Va is going to lose the mech. Yeah, big shove against ERL. And Vala is back to business. She's already underway here, and she hasn't used Strafe yet, so that's still an option. The power slide comes through. Mosh Pit is also still up. Dine, who doesn't give a shit and just goes for the camp, is saying, like, those stacks are mine. So he wants a couple of his hot pursuit stacks before he engages into anything. But now that the altar is up and channeled, here comes the hits. They're definitely driving a bit of a wedge between them, but they're still hoping to get this one. So here comes the wall stun. ETC is a bit low. Yeah, can they at least get a kill? It doesn't seem like it. Urel herself is also in trouble, so that's a problem. Good gust from Falstad, but who follows up on it? They tried to go for the Mosh Pit combo. This could have been so epic, but they lose ETC and they lose Ana. What a gust. If ETC pulls that off perfectly and gets the Mosh Pit against them as they are just hugging the wall, that would have been an absolute slaughter. But instead, there's 2 kills for the blue team, and they're breaking through the bot lane now in the attempt to take the bell tower conversion. So, here we go. We have at this point Falstad taking the top side, trying to play around this, and yeah, bell tower is already taken. Falstad is, of course, just going for... yeah, pretty much damage mitigation here. Damage reduction wants to make sure that they're not losing out too much. Maybe get at least the wall here at one of the towers destroyed. There's a level 13 talent advantage now for the blue team. They're holding on to the bottom bell tower as we speak. And they're just trying to go for the top at this point. I mean, Dino's already here. Rutsu's coming in too. He's sitting at 23 stacks now. 15 for ETC, so he will soon get his quest completion on the level 1. with a Prog Rock. Let's not forget that we have the next objective coming up now too, single altar at the bottom of the map, which is honestly the worst case scenario for crowd control now, because it's going to be super difficult for them to access this. And they're not even trying. Instead of going for the objective, they're just saying, yeah, well, we don't have any kind of avenue to that thing because the bell tower was claimed. So you know what, instead we're just going for the boss, we're going to trade this, you get the bot lane, that's 5 shots fired against us, we're going to take the boss at the top, that gives us at least 4, so could be worse. Alright, 4 shots fired over here. Easy shots. And on the other side, there's 5 hitting hard on the red team's core. ETC at the bottom of the map has already pushed this out a bit. Urel still holding on to the top. But this is the situation that they're dealing with right now. And of course, the main reason why you want to have the bot lane control is because you have 2 pumpkin cams pushing through this. And this is what blue team is trying to use right now. And they actually connect one of the shots. One of the shots goes through. They're trying to go for a second one, which gets denied. But that's 20 points against 26 now that we're talking about. And that's only a 6-point lead for crowd control. They lost Belcar at the bot lane. So, yeah, gotta be a bit cautious here. It's currently 3 kills to 1. It's a slight lead in experience. Urel has already been sniffed out by Cassia here. And will probably start to make the rotation again. 19 stacks now for ETC, so he's 1 shy of getting his proc rock completed. So that's the next thing. And here we go. ETC, oh, has to be careful. So does Vala. I mean, Masquerade was trying to make the play here. But now the camps get stolen away too. Now, Falset is of course really a bit of a saving grace now. Thanks to his global, they can have Urel and Falset both at the top and put some pressure on the Vespertine, and Falset can fly down whenever he wants to. Yeah, nice move here actually. Tries to get away, and I don't know about that, okay. Still holds this. Bot lane gets attacked again. Vespertine playing with them a little bit here. Triple altar is now up, and that's of course where it gets scary. If you have... Oh, that's another one. Oh my god, they get all 3. Holy hell, that bot lane control is working out so well for the blue team. They're looking fantastic here, I gotta say. Level 16 talent, static electricity, by the way. Okay, even more charges. Trying to get some additional stacks in. Top left, top right, get exchanged. 16 talents, that's another problem. Actually, as I say, they get exchanged. We have Lauer sliding in here. 3 shots already fired. So that's at least 1 taken. Can they get more? That's the question. Bot lane has already been channeled through. That's 5 shots. 17 to 18 right now. But this is the big one. It's going to drop them down to 13 points. And without the level 16 talents, of course, crowd control isn't fighting this. There's always the problem. If you don't have the talent, then you just sit there and you're like, well, we gotta wait for a bit more experience to come through. But Manticore's ready. We got, of course, Giant Kill on 13 for Falstad, and now he comes in with the Afterburner. And they are looking for fights. They need to start to do something. Diablo is actually on the right side of this and is zoning out Vala a bit. But here's the damage output against Urel, who has to pop the ult now too. Dibbles comes in with the ult as they're trying to make the play. Ball of Lightning. And now Vala is here. The cam gets taken. Trying to go for the mech. Mosh Pit! Is that the kill? No, it isn't. Instead, we have ETC in trouble. Urel hops out and runs away with the Divine Steed. Here's the Riptire. Oh, it doesn't get the kill, but they're going for Falstad. And it's bye-bye birdie time, isn't it? No, Falstad makes it out. Nobody is dying. What's happening? That fight just went through half the map and nobody actually died. Nicely done. Good moves on both sides here. Prevent the worst. All of a sudden, here comes the push at the bot lane again, though. They're trying for it again. Azu is down. They get the kill against Junkrat. Big shove coming in from BBJ now. And again, it's the Pumpkins moving through. As Quasar is trying for a different strat here. Looking for the angle. Could jump over. He could try to make the play. Dino, of course, poking as much as he can. Waits also for the 20. Once that he has the Farflight Quiver, it's going to be much easier for them. They want that bell tower back. They need it back. This 5 versus 3 situation is just not doing anything. And what a beautiful engage. And what a quick kill. That's exactly what they needed here. And yeah, they get the drop on Cassia and lock her down instantly as Falstad flies to the top. Let's take another look at this one. Just look how quickly they're shutting Cassia down. The jump, the slide, pushing her back. Even BBJ couldn't do anything about it with his Stukov. They didn't take the bell tower immediately. They're going for the 2 altars first as Cassia is still dead. But the next step is going to be a move down to the bottom of the map and trying to reclaim it. Cassia's down for another 17 seconds. They should be able to get this one without too much trouble. Yeah, but there's actually, now that I think about it, Hazo's sitting at the top, and down here we got BBJ. They won't be able to get it after all. That was a good split, a really good split from the blue team. Yeah, nicely done. So now at the bottom of the map, they're going to retake at least the bell tower. Keep in mind that Fawcett is also getting a bit closer to his own quest completion, which actually means that we're going to have him with an activatable. 8 points against 14. It's a comeback map, as I said. You can always come back on this one, and they're going to be looking for this. Down at the bottom of the map, the bell tower is taken down. Now we got 14 points to 8, so with 4 bell towers under control of both of the teams, they're still totally fine. 3 kills on each side, by the way. Damage output, 38,000 from Vala, 37k from Cassia. But at least the last few fights have gone a bit better for crowd control. And they're getting the crowd control. They're actually hitting a lot here, but there's nobody there for the damage. Gladiator's medallions get used to. Lauber has to move out. Oof, yeah, it's still a bit tricky here. They're moving. Oh, they're moving for boss again. That is actually going to get them incredibly close to their opponent. And 30k Orc has not realized it. They're a bit too late on this one. Nicely done. Good rotation, snap decision, and they get it. They take the boss, 4 shots fired. Oh, can they get more? Yes, they take the pilot down. Goodbye, Diva. Combo attempt by Masquerade fails. Doesn't get the connect into the Apocalypse. And now it's a 5 versus 4. Oh, and the gust play as they're looking for more kills. They want the follow-up. They get Diva. They want more. And they are looking to lock them into a corner here. Cassia might be in trouble. BBJ is already on the run. Cassia about to go down here. Urel comes in. Hobbity hop as the Space Goat comes in with a pancake move. They kill BBJ first, and now they go for Cassia, who has nowhere to run alone. Honestly, he should kill himself right now. Like, you want to die as... Quasar shouldn't have even killed him at this point. The longer you can delay the kill, the better for you, because it's a staggered death. So if you actually delay that a bit, that works in your favor. Either way, they want to have the heroes back on the map so that they can take some of the structures down. But this is, of course, a situation where if they convert the bell tower, they can go for double altar, and that would end the game. If they have enough push power right now, they can try to make that play. And they're going for exactly that. They have level 20, they have the bell tower control, so that's the strategy right here. Don't delay the kill, instead just make a big power play for the bell towers, get the channel, try to get the kills here. Falstad is there, he could get the one on the right side, which he should, and a follow-up kill would nearly end the game here, and they might get against Diablo now. Mosh pit, bam, down he goes. He had the stacks though, he had the souls, he'll be back. And Falstad channeled the first altar. 5 points against 8 right now. We're going to the limit, baby. At this point, if they get this, it's over. But ETC dies. Falstad trying to create some space. Vespertine. Oh, they're looking for the kill. And they get it. Down goes Diva. But it's still a 4 versus 3 on the map now. And they get the channel. 30k is able to stay in play. And we are going for a photo finish, ladies and gentlemen. We have 5 points on each side now and level 20 for the 2. Oh, it's party time over here. Oh, hell yeah, it is. The cannonball is in. They're going for the camps at the bottom of the map, but just look at the bell tower here. That thing is eating a ton of damage at this point. Yeah, Hazo is locking it down quickly. Takes the entire wave for the team. But they are trying to reclaim the bell tower at the bot lane. And they're going to be able to do that. They have pumpkins coming in, and that's not only 3. They are looking for the second set as well, as Sammy is going in. Top side, they took 1 camp 2 in the hopes that they will get some additional damage as well. But yeah, Ana is going to be back in a second. So is Diva. And can they escort those pumpkins through again? What a game. Beautiful second game here. I love this. This is absolutely fantastic. Top side gets pressured. Yeah, 3-man to try and take the bell tower back. And at the bottom of the map, they're chasing them. Uh-oh, BBJ is in trouble. He doesn't have an escape. And they are absolutely murdering him. That poor guy. Stukov doesn't stand a chance here. Yeah, that is a massive, massive gank up on Stukov. The Admiral is down, and that, of course, is going to lead to the destruction of the bottom bell tower. At least it should. They might have to... Oh, jump back for a second. There's the combo attempt. Fails again. Dibbles, Masquerade, he's low. Urel, the nano-boosted Urel, jumps in and tries to toy around with Diablo here. And that's a kill. Masquerade is gonna fall. Can they get more? Counter kill maybe against Dino. It's not happening. Vespertine. Oh, nice! Gets gusted in. Rutsu with a big play. They're going over to the altar. This would end the game. 5 bell towers against 3. They're going for the channel. Hazu interrupts once more. Cassia is playing it out at the bottom with Sammy. That's a kill. At least Vala is down, but they don't have time any longer. That is game. We have a tie in this best of 5. Nicely done as we are heading towards game number 3. Beautiful series here in the show match. Okay, let's go. Game number 3. We had a real highlight on our second map. Towers of Doom once again lived up to his reputation. Really close game there. I mean, that went down to the wire. That was a beautiful kill combo too. I personally like the Gust on D.Va probably the most into the death zone. Not that that necessarily decided the game or anything, but it was just beautiful to see that, and that was pretty sexy. Either way, we got Garrosh banned out first as we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity, so a bit of a different map. A bit more brawly in general. And here comes also the ban on Chromie as we're heading into this. But yeah, I'm kind of hyped for this right now. This should be a really fun series. I mean, either way, we're going to get at least 4 maps. If they are anywhere near the level of the last 2 games, then I'm game for it. This is just beautiful. It's a fun series thus far. So Medivh gets banned again. I think that's going to be a pretty recurring theme over here. And of course, now that we're heading into Battlefield, there's other heroes that we have to consider as well. I mean, the Lord gets banned once more, but Jimmy, for example, with Exterminator as his level 1 talent would be a big one. You can still look at Li Ming pick over here against the Immortal. Then Vala with an arrow build could be played. Hanzo could make an appearance again. So there's definitely a couple of heroes now that they should and could specifically pick for this map just to make sure that they're getting solid damage against the Immortal in particular. So that's something to watch out for, who takes what. There's the Li Ming pick immediately. Question, of course, are we going to see an Ana later on for them? Is Crowd Control going to try and pick that away so that there's no nano boost combo for Li Ming? Or are they focusing on some Immortal damage in the first rotation for them as well? But yeah, Jimmy should make an appearance here, either as a ban or as a pick, most likely as a pick. And that Exterminator setup is just insane. It's just absolutely insane. So Cassia gets taken though. Dino wants to have Cassia. Like, it's actually kind of funny because Dino is a Cassia player that probably got the most stacks that I've ever seen Cassia have on a high level, like in a high level game. I think it was at 165 at the end of a Volskaya Foundry game. But now that we had the blue team committing to a Cassia pick early on twice, he didn't get a chance to play here. So now this is the first time that we have that. Could also, of course, try to play around the Valkyrie depending on what kind of setup they pick. There's Brightwing again. Alright, so another Fruit Fly game. And this time it's Masquerade who plays ETC, who is, of course, a fantastic tank on Battlefield of Eternity. You have good control that you can use to simply play around the Immortal stuns, try and lock a target in, push them out, create some space for the team, and that could be incredibly powerful here for them, especially with the setup that they're playing right now. So, yeah. Bans are coming through though, and here's the question, if they ban out some damage. They don't. D.Va instead gets the boot, so this time we're not going to see any kind of mech plays around this one. And what gets banned by 30k over here? What are they going to get rid of? That's the bigger question right now. Because you still can try and ban out Lauba if you want to ban the front line a little bit. Actually, it's kind of interesting if you think about it that they went for Brightwing over Ana. So no combo for Li Ming. I mean, again, BBJ really likes his Brightwing, which I'm very well aware of. But I feel this is one of the biggest differences where in a full European setup you would have seen a very quick pick into Ana or one of the other top healers here. The synergy with Li Ming would have been pretty good. But now Diablo gets banned out, so they're attacking Lauba's pool a little bit. And instead we get Johanna, and there's the Ana pick. I could have even seen them pick Ana a bit earlier and just try and take it away from them. but not so much. Now that we have the last double pick here for them, since Hazu doesn't have a hero, this is a good opportunity to lock in Jimmy if he wants to. First we got Blaze in, so ETC and Blaze is a pretty solid combo. And Hazu, what are we going to see from them? Is he going to go for the extra damage with Jimmy and Exterminator, or are we going to get some more utility instead? Draymond would have been an option earlier on for the teams as well. And he goes for Hanzo. He goes for Hanzo. He had some fantastic arrows in game number 1. So he lets Jimmy slide. And instead goes for Hanzo. Plays around the arrow build again. Is also a pretty solid hero for him. And he had fantastic arrows, as I said, in game number 1. And they are already looking at that CC again. So they have the Blaze follow-up. They have ETC in here. If Hazu plays on the same level with these arrow connects that we've seen on Tomb of the Spider Queen, those are some deadly combos that they can throw out here. And that could definitely happen. But alright, so let's check this out. Battlefield of Eternity is coming up. And we got Sylvanas for Rutsu again. Okay, game 3. The series is tied, everybody. Let's check out who takes the lead here, as we're heading into the third map between 30k and Crowd Control. Okay, let's get this show on the road. We have 30k with BBJ on Brightwing, Vespertine on Blaze, Sammy on Liming, Masquerade on ETC, and Hazu is playing Hanzo. And on the right side of the map, Crowd Control after the victory in game number 2. With X-Ray on Ana, we got Rutsu on Sylvanas, we have Dequaza on Urel, and Dino on Cassia, as expected, with the stacks. That's exactly what I want to see from him here. And Lauba is playing Jojo in game number 3. This is the best of 5 series, as mentioned before. So let's see which team takes the lead. Already level 1, we get the Might of the Banshee Queen right here. We have Li Ming sneaking up to the top, trying to put some additional pressure onto Urel. So they go, ooh, Brightwing too. They're really trying to take the Space Goat out, aren't they? So it's going to be a 3-2 split for 30k. Top lane. And they know exactly what's coming here. So Dequaza is already probably yelling through voice, Team! Team! And at the bottom of the map, there's the push. Yeah, 4-man Sylvanas. What do you expect? Of course she's coming in swinging. Comes in and they start to take the structures down. Actually, we got ETC here with a Guitar Hero as his talent. I mean, in the setup here, you might argue you don't necessarily need to go for the block. And of course, it's going to be a bit tricky if you want to go for the block completion. So Sylvanas is now rotating towards the top to help out. But just look at this. The entire wall is more or less gone. Yeah, they take the first tower down. Second one is going to fall as well. And topside, the damage is, I mean, it's not really on the same level. They got some damage. Okay, let's be fair to them. They actually got some damage here. They're going to take at least one tower down too. But I don't think that they can take the entire wall. And it seems to me that Crowd Control has a chance to do that at the bottom of the map. So there's that. When it comes to the Immortal play, that's also going to be interesting. I mean, whenever we have Crowd Control taking it, Sylvanas can enhance the push even further. But we have really good poke plays from 30k on the Immortal. Now, first of all, they can even poke with Blaze, but of course, if you have Li Ming, it's always fantastic. Just YOLO these combos out towards the Immortal, and your opponent either takes the damage or they have to throw a hero in the path of the projectiles, and then you whittle their hit points down slowly but steadily. Besides that, Hanzo is there, so there's a lot of good race potential for them if they want to claim this. Camp is taken at the bottom. They had a full rotation coming, even Urel moving down to the bottom of the map to secure this one. And it's going to help them to destroy the entire wall. Easy peasy. Top side then again, Sylvanas and Urel are both making their way up towards the top, trying to prevent the wall from falling here. And Blaze is shutting it down, I like it. So we have Rutsu going for a bit of a safer rotation, but Vespertine was looking to interrupt them as they rotated top and slowed down at least Dequaza on his Urel. So that helped a little bit. Level 4 going into the Charge Blast over here. Okay, 10 stacks by now also for Cassia. She's of course hoping for a bit more, but as the objective spawns, both teams are heading first and foremost onto their Shaman camp to get some lane pressure during the first objective phase. B-steps on point, baby! I like it. The spray game is there, and we got the B-steps. That's how you do this. Alright, we bring a little bit of Europe over to North America. Nice. Yeah, Masquerade and Lauba trolling each other a little bit, as we have now the push straight for objective number 1. And I don't know what exactly the strategy is for Crowd Control here, but getting both of the damage dealers on your Immortal is definitely not a good start. These two are locking down the halftime show more or less easy peasy for 30k. So ETC down here needs to make sure that he doesn't fall. They got a bit of counter damage at least, but still, that's a victory. That's an additional 4,000 hit points already on the Immortal. That's not too shabby, especially considering the positioning. So now they have to play defense on the left side, which they're trying to pull off here. But Hanzo is poking, Li Ming is poking. This is, yeah, this one is gonna be taken by 30k unless something crazy happens. I mean, they're looking for crazy right now, but there's a full 5-man engage on this one, and they lock it in. So good job. Bit too slow here by crowd control if they really wanted to make their play there. But now, of course, you gotta face the music. The Immortal is gonna move down to the bottom of the map, and you gotta deal with that as much as you can. 14 stacks for Cassia. Nothing too crazy just yet on their end. And they're jumping out over here as the Immortal touches ground, and Blaze is starting to move in too. Okay, let's get the show on the road. Level 7 talents are also in for the blue team. The red team is going to claim them in just a second, but it's going to give Calamity over to Li Ming, which is of course just a godsend for this push. Here come the level 7 talent now on both sides. A few more stacks for Cassia, but can they get that forward? It shouldn't really be happening. The shield wasn't that big, but they get some serious damage on it. And look at that stun combo again. Nicely done here. Gladiator's Medallion already used, but that pushed them far past the fort, and they are about to drop this one. Urel is moving in. The fort is down. Can they at least get some kills? They're trying. Masquerade sliding out. They still have a chance to go for Hazu. And, well, our little bowman over here makes it out too. Okay, Hazops is still alive. The Wilhelm Tell of the Nexus is still in play. 24 stacks by now for Cassia. Masquerade. He eats some damage, but he's not gonna die. Yeah, overall, solid push. First 4 down. It's a pretty nice adventure that they had at the bottom of the map. And honestly, that was all a bit too easy, wasn't it? I mean, 30k went in on the objective right away, locked it in. Halftime show came, they committed with 5, took it down, and then they had the approach at the bottom of the map where they pushed them past the fort with the combo, the stun combo, forced them to retreat, and then took the fort. There's not a single kill in this game yet, so we're 5 minutes and 40 seconds in. No team, neither, has secured a kill. But that was still a pretty good start into this. Now that they're looking at the bottom camp, we have a 5 versus 5 coming up in just a second. Lauba is a little bit alone here. He needs to be careful. I mean, he's actually... they commit 2 heroes to deal with him. That might lead to them losing someone up at the top. The problem is that Lauba is down too. And Masquerade comes in with a B-step. B-steps his ass immediately. Yep. There we go. They get the camp, they get the kill. Vespertine could still fall, but Anna is dead as well. And Vespertine makes it out. Wow. 2 kills to 0, and they didn't get the camp either. That is a problem. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Okay, so level 10, of course, is the reward for 30k. And they're looking at a really, really good second Immortal, aren't they? Yeah, that's gonna be rough. I mean, Vala, Li Ming. Li Ming is already on the case here. We need to get Hanzo into the mix. Top camp at least has been taken. Rutzer is sitting here and is going for the pew, pew. But they don't have level 10. That's the problem. So they sacrifice the halftime show. Hanzo is already dealing with this, and that's a freebie. It's a total freebie for 30k. ETC hasn't taken his talent yet. I mean, we can expect Mosh Pit. There are interrupts available, of course, but still, I would be surprised to see him go to stage dive, given that they have Brightwing already. But there's at least now, yeah, level 10 on both sides. But look how late they are. They are taking the camp first, so they are not even in position as this happens. Only Lauba is there and trying to defend. 30 stacks by now for Cassia, going into the Ball of Lightning. And can they make something happen? It does honestly not seem like it, but with a bit, maybe with a good blessed shield and a follow-up from Sylvanas with the Wailing Arrow, they might be able to pull something off here. Urel is now hopping down to the bottom to deal with the Shaman camp. Blaze, by the way, is doing the same thing all the way up at the top. And they're still trying to make a play here. Now they sniff out Masquerade in that shrub, but at the bottom of the map, of course, Lauba is the only one holding position. Quasar is actually zoning them out. And ooh, ETC dies. What? Alright, ETC dead. That might change things a little bit. I mean, again, this Immortal is pretty low, but as long as they can reduce the shield, it would already be a win. Maybe another kill would also be fantastic here for them. Sylvanas is trying to take it. They're gonna lose the Immortal, but can they maybe get another kill on top of that? That would, of course, be great. ETC should not have fallen here. Blessed Shield is out already, on the other hand, so they can't lock them down with that anymore. But they have to deal with the top somehow, and they need to do it quickly. So yeah, it's already starting to go up to the top here. Immortal is on the way. At the bottom of the map, Sylvanas is down. Quasar is also caught, and well, is trying to rush away. The problem is you can run, but you can't hide. If they chase him, then he is going to be in trouble. So, yep. Nah, he's not going to make it. Jump straight into Brightwing's hands. Topside is getting pushed too, so the fort gets attacked as well. And yeah, that's going to be another fort down. After game number 2, I gotta say, 30k is looking even better here. They're doing some great work with those structures. Bot lane destroyed, top lane destroyed. Now, they still haven't, of course, taken the keep down, but this is a great way to set yourself ahead a little bit. You nearly have level 13, which is another big one as well. And off we go. Here comes the ETC power slide as they're moving out. Wall is about to go down. At the bottom of the map, we have Hazorps doing his thing, escorting another wave straight into range. And that wave is, by the way, lost. It's lost to crowd control because they have no one here. They're looking for the fight instead. The problem is that 13 has now been picked up too. So they're looking at the talent disadvantage, a level disadvantage, 4 kills to 1. And it's a bit rough. Yeah, it definitely is. So right now, they have to get 13. They have to really try and play around the next objective. Force a fight, take it. And as long as Dino stacks, they can maybe in the late stage of the game make something happen here. Quasar is playing this super careful. I mean, look at this. He's not even, he's just sitting there and saying like, I'm not unmounting. This is not happening. As long as I don't have vision, I'm not going to do any of that. But they rotate in with 5, and there's only 2 defenders, and Ana can't do anything in that situation. So that's a free wall for 30k, and they're looking great here. They're looking absolutely fantastic. But that would be the fight. Still no level 13, but they're going for the battle. Blast Shield comes out. Brightwing survives, though Arrow misses completely as Hazu tries to lock it in, and they might actually lose place. No, Brightwing with a save. Shitwing being useful here. BBJ getting some use out of the hero, and the level 13 talents come just as they all die. Wow. They're all about to die, and that's when the level 13 kicks in. That is just... oh. They took the fight before level 13. In an ideal world, they would have waited. They couldn't, and now they just get wrecked. I think with the 13 talents, they would have probably been able to take that fight. Now they're about to lose the keep at the bottom of the map, and this is just mad trouble. Top side, yes, it gets pushed by the Shaman camp, but still, even if they lose the fort, that is a very, very good exchange that they have here. 47 stacks for Dino, it's not enough. But just take another look at actually the setup here. So they locked them into a corner. They just murdered them. It was just a beautiful fight by 30k. And of course they were in a better position just simply because they had those 13 talents. But that's 3 kills against them. 7 kills to 1 now. Topside hasn't even fallen, by the way. Still gets defended here. And the issue is really that it's a 2-level disadvantage now for crowd control. So they have to be aggressive. The reason why they are going this steep, why they're going this aggressive right now, is simply because they have to. They can't wait until level 16 is on the board for 30k. So they are invading whatever they can, trying to force fights. Whenever there's an opportunity, there's the mosh pit, insta-interrupt, but Ana is dead regardless. And ETC doesn't even die. Vespertine, does he have the bunker? He does. Drops it right away. Nano boosted Sylvanas is trying to get the damage out and is at least, no, not even able to take place. But they kill Liming. The problem is that Lauba also falls, so he is dead too. And that is just, that's just unfortunate. Rutsu is moving away. 16 is of course now ready. And that seals the deal on this Immortal. Incredibly disciplined play by 30k. And I said it after game number 1, and I have to reiterate it again. They are looking quite powerful in the way that they are coordinating their attacks. And for a team that has just now been drafted, that is pretty impressive. As I mentioned, this is still before the CCL starts, so this is just a show match over here. The teams and how well they'll play and how well they coordinate, it will really depend a lot on how much they're going to scrim. But already we have some of them, as you can see here, having great coordination and synergy, and 30k is doing a fantastic job with those calls and the execution of them. So crowd control, they fought back in game number 2 quite heavily. They had a pretty solid first game too. But now they're in trouble here on the third map. They are talent behind, they're 2 levels behind. It's a massive Immortal at the top. The keep at the bot lane is lost. And if, I mean, again, a miracle, like a bit of a miracle here would maybe bring them back, but let's face it, what they need to do is more or less wipe 30k in a team fight. If they can do that here, they might be able to catch up, but the keep is going to be lost one way or another. Arrow misses again. Yeah, it's still a 2-level advantage here, and Lauber is already low. The tank is already incredibly low. They're locking Cassia into a corner, and Dino goes down. That has to be the end of it. Well, Sylvanas falls as well with 2 heroes destroyed, the backline being attacked, the Immortal going through the keep. There's just absolutely no way for them to survive here. It's just whack-a-mole as Tai comes in and drops them one after another with the resets on Liming. They are going for the lead in this best of 5 series. They're going for that right away. So they're starting to jump in, taking the core down. Impressive performance here on Battlefield of Eternity by 30k. They want them all, and they get the 5-man team wipe as they take crowd control down on Battlefield of Eternity and take the 2-1 lead in this best of 5 series. Nicely done, GG, and well played by 30k. Okay, let's go. Game number 4 could be the last one. Our best of 5 series continues with Infernal Shrines. We have 30k going up against Crowd Control. And, well, we have a pretty coordinated team on the side of 30k. So they are doing a fantastic job right now, shutting Crowd Control down, at least on the last map. It was probably the most one-sided map that we had in this best of 5 series so far. And let's find out if Crowd Control can bring it back again on Infernal Shrines, force map 5, or on the other hand, 30k is locking that down quickly. Now, so far we had a couple of things that were just banned out immediately. We had Gazlo banned in pretty much every single game, we had Medivh banned in every single game. There's the Lord. And then it's always a question more so, do you ban D.Va, for example? Do you ban Junkrat again? What exactly are you going to try and get rid of? Infernal Shrines is, of course, a very different map right now. So we could definitely see another D.Va ban over here. They feel that she just disrupts the backline too much. But on Infernal Shrines in particular, you can definitely go for a couple of targeted bans on the other side, of course, as well. Since also apparently there was a little bit of confusion, just to reiterate that, Sammy is Thai. So it's the European player that played for Granite Gaming, GGT, which is just Thai. So yeah, that's Sammy. He plays with the Sammy account over here, and all of those games, of course, are still on the North American server. And to my knowledge, all of these games are also being played on Central, since there's different regions on the North American side, too. But well, there's the Junkrat ban, as I already talked about a little bit. There was definitely an option for them. And Chromie gets also banned. So who do we get as our first pick? Because Crowd Control went for first pick again, which means that 30k went straight in for the map. I mean, pretty much when you... There's the D.Va pick. So what happens in any kind of competitive setup in Heroes of the Storm is the team that loses a map will then decide whether they want to have first pick or the map choice for the next map. And normally on the top level, what you see is that most of the teams decide in favor of having the first pick and first ban. So in this case, that's exactly what Crowd Control did, and 30k therefore had map choice, and they decided the map, and it was pretty much the same thing on the last one too. There's Brightwing again. BBJ really enjoys that hero, so he has pretty much won both games now where he played Brightwing, so good for him. And Cassia gets also locked in right away. It's a bit of a Cassia battle here too. She's been part of every single game this far as well, so has been picked in all of them. Very high up in the meta right now. And what is Crowd Control going to get right now? That's the bigger question. Are they going to lock in a hero for Lauber, for example, already? Yes, they do! Diablo and Hanzo. So technically speaking, you can go into a setup where you have a Hanzo arrow connect and then Diablo follows up with an Apocalypse. And, yep, that could be a pretty awesome combo if that... Well, I mean, technically speaking, you could go into a Hanzo arrow, you could go into an Apocalypse as a follow-up, and a D.Va bomb on top of it. If you execute that, that would be fucking fantastic. That would be the dream right there. Can you imagine that? That would be just insane. Anduin gets banned too, so the Crybaby is not going to be part of this game. That's a little bit of a surprising one, to be honest, right here. I mean, if you go in with a Light Bomb, for example, or a Bubble still. But yeah, no Crybaby in this one. For the Alliance! I want my mommy! I love what the hero brings to the game. I just hate the character. So Garrosh gets banned on the other side though, limiting the front line a little bit. And let's go. Come on. Daddy wants to see some action. Give me a couple more damage dealers over here. Masquerade, what is he gonna play? He doesn't get his Diablo, which kind of is that. Ah, I love it. Hazu with Tychus. I kind of love that we have Tychus a bit more in the meta now. It's awesome to see him just back and see teams also experiment now. He has, of course, seen a few changes. One of the big changes that brought him back is the range increase on his level 1 that he now has as a talent choice. You get Johanna together with that. And, well, let's see what Masquerade can set up with this. So, of course, if he goes for the cooldown reduction, he has fantastic objective clear. Ana is in, alright, and Vala again. Ah, well, they won the second map, didn't they? So Vala has currently 100% win rate in this one too. And Vespertine, our last pick over here for the blue team, for 30k. So let's check this out. Infernal Shrines, what's the last pick? They still need a side laner. I mean, who is it going to be? Could go for the notorious Johanna Blaze combo. But Urel is also open. And there she is. Space Goat in action, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's go. Game number 5, or is the blue team going to take it with a 3-1 victory? We're going to find out right now on Infernal Shrines. Game on! 30k on the left side with BBJ on Brightwing. We got Vespertine on Urel Semi, aka Tai on Cassia, Masquerade on Jojo, and Hazorps is playing Tychus in game number 4. On the right side of the map, we have Lauber. We got Lauber on Diablo, Night Vision, aka X-Ray on Ana. We have Rutso on Vala, Dainu on Hanzo, going on level 1 straight into the target practice. And we have Dequaza playing Diva in this 4th game. And well, it could be the last, obviously. So definitely a bit of a cool combo that we have, and well, here it is, the talent that brought Tychus back into the game. Press the advantage makes Tychus part of the meta, since all of a sudden he can stand a little bit farther back, and they get the insta-kill against Lulba, who's down and gets B-stepped right away. Yeah, especially before that change, players have always said that Tychus in and of itself is kind of a cool hero, but that the big problem is simply that his range is not... It's too short, so you can't really do anything with him. You have to be too close to the action, it's too dangerous. And now that we have pressed the advantage, all of a sudden Tychus is in a position where you can play him in the meta. And that's actually awesome. That brought him back, and it's cool to see him here. Hazorps with the minigun, already setting this up. They're trying to make the play, but he dove a bit deep, and Lauber is trying to punish him for it. But Hazu still survives, as Brightwing is helping him out right there. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Stacks are coming in, slowly of course, for Cassia, sitting at 8 at this point. And, well, we currently are looking towards the camps. And at the 1 minute mark, we have the Khaldor spawning, so the first camp is taken on the left side. Both teams are looking to maybe invade a bit, but it's also about the 3rd camp at the bottom of the map. Gonna be interesting to see who takes that. Lauber, ooh, and that's a kill again. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem right now. These engages that we have, and Diablo gets just bullied around. That's the 2nd kill against him. And that's with Tychus not even going into the bigger they are just yet. So Diablo might have a pretty rough time here. It's a great hero when you can get a double stun setup in the late game, and if you have a good wall stun going for yourself. But at this point, they're having trouble. And of course, as usual, the bigger they are is in, and that will burn him down quickly. You need to have the follow-up afterwards, but that's exactly what they're going to be looking for. Burning Lauber down every single time that he pops his face up, and that's what they're going to try and do here. But either way, we have the... Yeah, there we go. That's the setup again. They're going for BBJ this time. Tychus wasn't here, so Lauber dodged out on most of the damage simply because the main threat to him wasn't in this fight. Either way though, we got the punishment in, as usual. We also got the explosive arrows right now. Ana going for the sleeping dart setup. Hazu is already looking towards the shaman camp, and guess what? Red team is doing the exact same thing, of course. Why wouldn't they? Trying to lock that down as quickly as they can, get the push going at the top lane, as we are having the shrine activating at the bot side. Yeah, 17 stacks for Cassia isn't too bad either, I gotta say. I mean, Tai is doing, Sammy is doing a great job over here. getting those initial stacks in. But yep, first camp is taken. On the Blues team side, we're seeing the same thing. 2 more seconds for the Shrine to be up. A little bit more wave clear. Teams are both hoping to get level 7 talents first, but it's actually 30k that is slightly ahead on the experience. And Brightwing is taking the top lane, which is amazing. If you have that global right now, you need to use it, and they are trying to lock that level 7 talent in before Crowd Control has any chance to do the same thing. And of course, they will have to move back now, at least until they have the same talent, or simply risk being pushed into level 4 versus level 7 talent battle, which you should kind of avoid. So they're still trying to make the plays here, but they gotta be careful. They have the big lead on the objective, don't get me wrong, so at least they got that. But their Quasar gets locked out. Oh, the pilot survives. Diva is there. Vespertine is jumping in. Good follow-up from Tai, but they can't get the kill, and it's time to tap the fountain and re-engage into the battle. Can they get level 7 before that's the case, though? That's the question. They look for the experience, and they are so close, but they just don't have it. And of course, we're seeing 30k starting to come back, and that's the kill against Vala. Vala is down. Level 7 talents are finally in. They're still trying to take the objective, and they will actually get it. Nicely done. They lose Vala, but they take the Punisher. And that's honestly what they needed to do here, because they are an entire level behind. If they lose the Punisher here as well, that would mean they lose structures at the bottom of the map, and they're going to be in trouble. But as it stands, we have a big push coming now through the bot lane, taking at least the wall down here, and trying to bring this back slowly. So Diva able to get some of the damage connector that's needed here. They take the wall, and they're slowly bringing some of the XP back. But having the global available is definitely a big asset for 30k. So that's going to help at least initially for them. Either way, we have now our build starting to form up a little bit. The Relentless Soldiers in. We also got more stacks coming through for Cassia, who's already sitting at 30 of them. So pretty sweet. And, well, now that we're having Diva against Urel in the middle of the map, it's of course again the fight over the third camp at the bottom, where 30k is willing to move in right away. And again, it is a problem that they're so far ahead in experience right now. The gap has been closed a little bit, but they will have an early level 10, and that's the reason why they're actually moving back here. They're saying like, well, we're willing to give you the camp, because we have heroes in the middle and at the top. We could force the fight, but why would we? We are going to be the first ones to have level 10, and then we're going to play around this. It's also one of the reasons why Crowd Control is playing aggressive right now, because they are hoping to get a kill. If you can get the kill before the opponent, just before the opponent hits 10, then it means that they won't be able to do anything with those heroic abilities. As it stands now, there's an opportunity maybe for 30k to take some structures here. Maybe not too much, but at least eliminate the wall here at the front. Lauba is unlikely to engage, and look how deep they're standing here already. Blessed Shield has been used by Masquerade then again, and he actually missed the target. If they get to connect with Ana, that's a potential kill, but they weren't able to do that, so they won't be getting anything out of the level 10 advantage, but the opportunity was there. They missed it a bit, but again, if the Blessed Shield connects, it's a different story. And as expected, here comes the Apocalypse and also the arrow. So we'll see if we get that combo. Oh, that arrow missing completely. Yeah, that was not a European arrow dino. No. We're going to practice that one again. So if they play that a little bit better, it's a kill against Cassia. But as it stands, both of them losing a cooldown. So yeah. I mean, we are on a North American server after all. So it narrowly missed the target. But yeah, either way. Urel is sitting in the middle of the map. Level 10 abilities are ready for both. We got the Odin, Blink Heal, fight at the bottom as they're going for Lauba again. And he's been the punching ball of this game for quite long. I mean, it's 2 kills against him already. And here we go. Yep, that's a kill. Vala is down, and Lauba couldn't do anything about it, but he dives in, and he might... Body blocked by his sleep dart. Body blocked them in the choke point. I like that. X-Ray with a really cool move here to save Lauba's day. So, yeah, that was a bit unexpected, but I'll take it. 40 stacks already for Tai. I'm a little bit terrified of how strong Cassia could get if he can keep up that stacking rate. I don't think he will be able to keep this one up, but he is getting some serious damage early on in the game. Masquerade still hitting that B button quite regularly. And of course, they're looking for the objective now, with both teams having the entire setup here. Diablo, by the way, is fully stacked, so he would be back. Ah, Valkyrie missing, but Vala is again in trouble. The arrow, the combo, they go for the kill, and they find it against BBJ. Brightwing is down, not so bright after all, and they are in a 5 versus 4, just before that level 13 talent hits for 30k. Good for them. That might just be the chance to get another objective here. They already got the lead. And, well, let's see if they can do a little bit more here. Brightwing is going to be back in another 5 seconds, but this is going to be... This is a done deal. Yeah, for sure. They got 31 stacks already. Urel has moved into the middle instead. We currently have at the bot side... Yeah, they're going to deal with this one too. But the question, of course, is how much can they do at the top now? And the whole thing here is really just catching up in experience. Trying to make sure that you end up on even talents with your opponent. So they have to go for that. Camps are now claimed by 30k as they're going in up at the bottom. And up to the top, there's the Neo Steel coming in. The coding for Tychus. Fort is taken... First structure, by the way. Fort is taken down. First structure to fall in the game. And down at the bottom of the map, of course, the fort has also taken damage a bit earlier as they took the wall down. And talking walls, they're actually going for the wall at the keep too. Yeah, these frozen punishers are mean. They are insanely strong, just disabling everything and helping them to take those down with ease. So now it's 13 versus 13 talents, which gives us Gloom again. We get a full-on build into the Fire Stomp by Diablo as Lauber's trying to stay alive. A little bit more arrow plays for Hanzo with a fleet of foot. And they're starting to make the play for the camps again. And this time they're locking in the one at the bottom pretty quickly. Arrow. Oh, arrow camera catching everything here. Dino with a big failure once again. He's 0 for 2 now. And, well, we're starting to see the fight focusing on Johanna. They're trying to take Masquerade down. He even commits to the Gladiator's Medallion. And, well, he's able to get away. So good for him. Okay, so we got Urel still sitting in the middle. Dino getting a little bit anxious here. Can't lose the third arrow too. Third time's the charm, or so I've heard. So we'll see if he can maybe connect the next one. To be fair, he connected the one at the top. I don't want to be too mean here. He missed 2, but he connected the one top side, which was the one that actually saved Vala, set up the Apocalypse, and then helped them to win the fight and the Punisher. So, yeah. Dino, I'm sorry. I did you wrong, my friend. I apologize profoundly for it. So good job by him. Great job. he's one. He's 1 for 3. Okay, so half a level away from level 16, and 54 stacks for Cassia. That's the damage actually looking like for our girl. 30,000. Hans is a bit ahead. They're trying to steal the camp away. Look at these fuckers. Yeah, they're starting to take this one. He's already double checking if Urel is maybe moving in, and they're gonna get it. Diablo has also spied all of this out, but the camp is going to be taken. They're stealing it away. The question is, can they get out of this one without falling? They're going for Dibbles. Diablo! And another arrow comes all the way from the bottom. The Apocalypse is here. Oh, Lauber, he's alive. No, he's dead. He's dead. Nano boosted Vala. I gotta say that the highlight of that fight was just that random arrow coming all the way down from the bottom of the map. That was just so perfect. 16 talents are in, and we will soon see them for crowd control too. But the fact remains that they stole the camp. I mean, again, they stole the camp, and the next objective spawns at the bottom of the map. So that's actually kind of important, because if they time theirs now well, they have a good chance of getting some damage done topside, and since the fort has already been taken down, that would focus onto the keep directly. So right away we have our 16 talents, which also gives us Manticore, which shouldn't really be underestimated either. If Vala is able to get good shots off against Urel, for example, that would threaten her quickly. But in we go. Right wing is coming in now too, and top lane is gonna be pressured again. Camp is here. First catapult is also arriving. Oh, the blessed shield missing. Valkyrie doesn't. Yeah, bigger they are. Oh, the kill against Cassia at the back. Dibble Dibbles down. Brightwing is also dead. And they're going for another kill. Hazu Ops is toast. They take Hazu 3 kills to 1. Big boy plays here coming from Crowd Control. They want game number 5. Take a look at that beauty. First they go for Diablo and then they get punished. You don't just attack the Lord of Terror like this. No, 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 no. Cassia goes down, so does Brightwing. They trade Diablo for it and then they get the counter kills. The fort is already destroyed. They go for the objective. They can still wait for Dibbles and delay it a little bit further if they want to. Of course, in the meantime, we see Vespertine taking care of the top lane and taking that camp down. But, nicely done. That was a great team fight for Crowd Control here. 6 kills to 4 now. Yeah, and on the damage output, we have Hanzo with 41,000. They get the camp as well. Diablo's on his way back. And I got good news for everybody. 10 more seconds, and the arrow of Hanzo is back up. Oh yeah, baby. So, right here, we currently have the jump over the wall. Good bait. They're trying to take the wall down. Not even going through the side wall here, but now they have the chance as they're destroying this. Can they take the keep? Seems a bit unlikely. Arrow! And it connects! Apocalypse! And there we go! That has to be a kill! Brightwing gets away! They didn't lock the damage in! And instead Diablo falls! Oh, misplay towards the end of the damage combo. They didn't focus the fruit fly properly. They didn't get the fly swat out, and they get punished for it. Their keep is still in play, and they lost 2 heroes. They had the opportunity here, but after that CC chain hit BBJ and he was locked in place, they just didn't get enough damage behind it. 8 kills to 4, and the defense is there. Nicely done. Beautiful series here. Yeah, trying to delay this a little bit further. But just look how many times Diablo has died. He has died 5 times. He gets absolutely abused here at the front. And part of that is really just damage output that we're seeing with the bigger they are from Tychus. Again, as I said, pressed the advantage on level 1, brought him back into the meta. And now he is just absolutely murdering, as you can see here. So we have another push through the middle. This time it's actually 30k Orc that are making the plays here. And they are getting some real solid damage on the structures. They take down the fort. They have map control, at least for now. Have taken the leading experience, which could help them to get the earlier Storm talent and get their 20. I don't think that it's going to be enough to really carry it into the objective and win it for free. But it might give them the lead. So that could definitely happen. And, well, let's see. Over here. Ooh, the arrow. Yeah, that doesn't hit anything. Narrowly missed it. By the way, the reason why I YOLO'd that out, just in case, some people still don't get that. And they look at this and they're saying like, oh my god, how could he? What a horrible move. Now it's on cooldown. This is actually pretty simple play. It's what you oftentimes see when a team realizes, hey, we have a lot of time until the next objective is up on the map. We could try and make that play. It's of course a huge risk and very likely that you're not going to get any value out of it, but you don't really lose anything because the arrow will be up for the next fight on the shrine and therefore you don't need it at that time. So it's pretty much like a high risk, high reward play that you're trying to go for, but if it doesn't pan out, then you're not really losing too much. So top side gets pushed because the level 20 talent is there for 30k. If needed, Crowd Control will give this one up. They don't want this fight. They don't want this fight, and I think they're going to move back now. They actually got the Imprisoning Light. I don't know why they are still here. And they lose Dibbles. I honestly don't know why they are doing this. That was... I mean, it was honestly pretty obvious that 30k would make that play for the fort. And of course, it sucks to lose it, because the next objective is topside. So you want to keep it if you can. But I don't know why they just didn't give that up in the first place. They must have realized that they would lose out on it. Now they have to wait for Diablo to come back, and he can't stack any further. But that is a bit of a problem. So, yeah. Now they are on the back foot. They have their own level 20. Farfly Quiver together with Manticore is going to be great for Vala. With the Bullseye too. Nice pressure, by the way, at the bottom of the map. Nobody's going for that. Yeah, they're pinging this already. I don't know if Brightwing can maybe... Yeah, Brightwing can come back and can push this out, take at least the catapults, and then global in. Diablo isn't back yet. And this is really the problem. Diablo, he didn't need to die there, and he did. So now they're looking at a setup where 30k, for no reason whatsoever, is actually ahead. Brightwing can jump topside. There's the setup with the Imprisoned Light. It's a 4 versus 4, but Brightwing jumps in to give them the numbers advantage, and Hanzo is down. The defense, or the attempted defense at this fort just ruined them the top play. And it might have lost them the game. big mistake, and honestly, a mistake that wasn't even forced. Unforced mistake by them. They go for the combo. Can they get this? That would be insane. And then the answer is no, they don't. Hellgate! Ooh, Diablo! And he's dead. Diablo is down, and well, I don't know, guys. The bottom keep at least has been taken down. So crowd control, they got the bottom keep that helps them a lot with the pressure on the map. But they shouldn't really fight here anymore. I don't know why they're still there. They're not going to win this in a 3 versus 5, and they know that. So the only thing they can really do is wait for the 2 heroes to come back and then defend the top lane. Lose maybe the keep, but they'll still be even with the opponent in structures because they took the bottom keep thanks to those catapults. But the entire situation that they find themselves in right now was avoidable. That was definitely something you could have avoided. Those were unforced mistakes that were necessary. 56,000 damage by Cassia. She's in 83 stacks. And now they're trying to take the camp here. They realize they don't even have the time to do that anymore, though. And this is, of course, going to be a push for core. Now, they're going to try and make the play here. The keep is definitely down. But they have to defend as best as they can. Yeah, nicely done. Okay, so they actually keep D.Va in play. Keep is down. And the problem is that that Mortal Punisher is still so strong here. Yeah, they go for D.Va. Can they go for the pilot? No, not quite. Ana is a bit low. They're still doing well here. They're still holding on. The arrow hits. And that could... Oh, beautiful setup. Good shots from Vala now. Yeah, definitely can go for the target practice here. And that is that. They defend the core. They don't even lose any hit points. They're trying to see if they can maybe even follow up with it. Lauber wants the angle. Doesn't get it. Wanted to look for the wall stuns. He has the Apocalypse. Could have used it too. But, yep, here comes Cody Odin. In comes Urel, trying to set them up. The kill against Ana. Nice. Well played. Good Ana kill for them. Now they're looking for a bit more. I don't think they're going to get it. But, yeah, the bottom of the map, we have a couple of catapults also pushing in. Catapults on the core of the blue team. Keep that in mind. That's a problem. Shields are actually dropping low. Thankfully, another wave has just spawned that will take the catapults down. But we might even see the core get a bit scratched. Nah, it just survives. But honestly, a few more minutes in, that could have been an issue. Yeah, can they take the keep? Not quite. If that minion wave doesn't spawn at the bot lane, you might have seen it on the minimap, then the blue team loses points on the core. But as it stands, the pressure is definitely on crowd control. So this is getting tricky. Big arrow, but no follow-up. D.Va, yes, it's a kill against Urel. 5 versus 4. Crowd control, bringing it back, baby. They kill the front line. Where did this come from? Holy shit, nicely done. Yeah, check that out. Here comes the engage after they killed Urel. They went for Johanna too, and they took the second kill. Nicely done. And now they move down to the bottom of the map in the hopes to end this game and force game 5. 100 stacks on Cassia. Is that enough to help with the defense here? We're going to find out for sure. 30 seconds until the front line is back. And the catapults are locking in on the core. One of them does, second one too. They need to take it out. Brightwing is trying to do exactly that. The shields are already falling. Here comes the big red button. They missed the Valkyrie, no imprisoned light, and they're actually falling back, aren't they? Yeah, they're trying to play around and wait maybe for the next wave, but it's 3. Again, they have the damage dealer still ready. This isn't necessarily over. They lost a couple of points on the core, but they are falling back right now. And let's not forget that up here we have 2 catapults on the core too. So they need to get back. They actually need to go back. Oh, or they're going to lose some points too. Yeah, D.Va comes in and saves the day. Yeah, no hit points lost on the core at least. Ah, what a game. Look at Tai, look at Cassia. 105 stacks. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at. 105 stacks for them right now. Looking good. Looking good. Alright, over here comes the push still. As they're trying to move them back, and let's see what else they can do. Yeah, get a little bit more work done over here. Trying to take the camps down, get some pressure onto the map. And this is of course now a shrine at the bottom of the map, which is pretty good for 30k, because their most exposed lane is the bot lane, whereas top side we now have the Shaman camp pushing in. Yeah, they get the early lead with the 10 stacks here. Keep also Johanna in mind, she's sitting at the side. If she connects the Blessed Shield, that could be it. Imprison and Light, and goodbye. That's the kill. Vala is down. Lauber barely escapes. This is trouble. This is real trouble. Top side is getting pressured by the camp and the catapults. Down here, they're about to lose the objective unless they pull off a bit of a miracle. Lauber is already low, barely survives, and they just have nothing here. They just got nothing. D.Va is trying to buy them some space, but this is looking horrific. 14 to 6 kills, 30k is looking fantastic. And they are starting to go in for it once again. Yep, things are looking great. And of course, the top gets attacked now too. That's another big problem for them right now. They have to fall back. Now, there is one advantage that they have. There is still a fort and the keep at the bot lane. So this might not be over yet. They have a chance to defend this. They actually have a bit of a chance to defend it here. I'm not saying it's going to be easy by any means. But, I mean, again, if they get a good combo off now that Vala is back, if they can do anything around it, they might have an opportunity to just hold this a little bit longer. It's going to be it's going to be a big ask. But maybe they can make it happen. So, there's Odin already being popped. Going for the cooldown. And, well, here comes the push. They need a kill. They can't lose Diablo here. They can't. Arrow hits. Hits hard. Dibbles is down. No Apocalypse used. This is going to be the beginning of the end. Yes, Ana is down too. They're getting the kill against D.Va in the back. Diablo is back. What can he do? He's looking for the combo. They're murdering them. They're absolutely murdering them. There's a crime in progress here and nobody gives a shit. We already have B-steps coming through, and this is game, ladies and gentlemen. A 3-1 victory for 30k against crowd control in this game. It's absolutely inevitable. They go for the 5-man team wipe as they take their show match. Beautiful series, tons of fun here, and nicely done by 30k. Crowd control goes down, but a fantastic best of 5 series. GG, and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.